All right, Albert Urias, 174, Cal State Bakersfield, local kid.
Yep.
All right, is this like a dream come true or something? You wrestling for this program growing up in town here?
Yeah, it kind of is. I remember, because I started wrestling about 6th grade, and I remember I went to my first duel around 7th, 8th grade, and I just kind of fell in love, and my time of camps and stuff was just here at the camps here in town, and I took as much as I could, and I was like, I kind of want to come here. This is kind of born and raised. It'd be nice to stay.
So you came to a duel as a kid,
yes,
and you got hooked on the program.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you're doing that now for other kids.
For other kids, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, what I went through. Hopefully, the locals around here are kind of going through the same inspiration that I did. To be better and kind of want to stay here and kind of represent Bakersfield, the community.
Okay, so there's definitely a California flavor on the roster,
oh, yeah.
right? So is it like you don't want any outsiders or what? I mean, what's going on? Why is such a California-loaded roster?
I don't know. I think it's just the sales pitch here for the guys, the local, California guys is, hey, like, you can come here, wrestle, and it's affordable here, and you're only two hours away from home, and I know the coach has been trying to recruit more out of state as well lately, but I think it's just a lot of I think what it is too is that we know a lot of kids around the community. You wrestle a kid, you kind of see them at tournaments, say, hey, what's up? And then you see that they're kind of getting to their junior, senior year, and you're like, hey, where are you thinking about going? You're kind of good, like, come hang out with me, come to Cal State, and then they get in contact with the coaches. They're like, yeah, like, I want to come here now. I want to stay close in California, and I want to represent what, you take pride in. I think it's a pride thing too. Just
okay.
All California roster, like, we're gonna California versus the whole U.S. essentially.
Yeah.
In Division I level, So.
Yeah, right. You mentioned D1, right? I mean, you get a chance to step out there, possibly step out there at the Division I level, NCAA, and take on those Big Ten schools, the MAC schools, the SoCons and all that.
Yeah, no, it's a great experience, especially for me, considering in high school I'm a one-time state qualifier.
Okay.
Never placed.
Okay.
Top 12, so I lost in the blood rounds at California High School State, and so going from a kid who's never placed, one-time qualifier, to now representing a Division I program, and like you said, wrestling these Big Ten schools, the Big 12 schools, all that. Having close matches with these guys. I was ranked as highest as 31st in the country this year.
Okay.
I beat a guy who was like a 3-time state champ in California this past year, and just shows that anything's possible. It's not just.
Okay, so wait a second. This is a kid that was in your weight class that was 3-timer, and you didn't place.
Yes.
And you beat him.
Yes.
How's that feel?
It's by this point in my wrestling career, it's almost an expectation.
Huh.
But because I just have a high expectation myself, and that's kind of what's kind of put me in these positions to win matches where I probably shouldn't be there. But kind of reflecting on it, it feels good. It feels good, and it kind of gets me more excited, more just hungrier to get even more. Because I'm like, well, if I can beat him, and he's a big name, whatever, and I can keep going. I can take this guy on. I can take this guy on.
Right.
Sure enough, the belief kind of sets in that it is possible to be an All-American and a national champ now. And that's all it takes is a little dream and just going for it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. I know we talked about California. We talked about Coach reaching out there, other states and doing recruiting. Obviously, it is what it is at this point. Doesn't mean it's closed, but I'm going to ask you to do me a favor because I'm from Central Ohio.
Okay.
Big Ten country, and out there in Ohio wrestling, it's D1 or bust, right?
Right.
So it's like I've got to go to Ohio State. I got to go to Penn State.
Right.
I got to go to all these schools. Wisconsin better be looking at me. All this kind of stuff. So the favor I'm asking you is talk to that guy that's in Ohio, PA, Michigan.
I think it's just expanding your horizon. I mean, you see it a lot. All our coaches are from the Midwest. They're from Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and they come out here and their eyes get big. They're like, oh, like authentic Mexican food. And, there's more to life than just where you're from. There's a lot of options out there, and coming to Cal State is a big option. It's affordable all the way around. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to just stay in Ohio and with the Big Ten schools. You can come out to the Pac-12, come out to the West. It's fun out here. There's things to do. I mean, you see it. There's a couple guys on the team, like Tyler Dean went to Nebraska for a year or two, and he didn't like it, and he came back here, and he's loving it. He's back in California having good fun. And then we're getting Jaden Urias from Michigan State.
Okay.
He's coming back here to California. It's possible. where you're at doesn't have to be that. You can come here and it's affordable. It's not going to be this crazy expensive adventure out. It's affordable, you know, and it's fun. The beach is an hour and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
The rivers are about an hour and a half away. You know, there's so many things to do around here, and you know, it's just kind of taking that leap of faith to just change it up a bit, you know.
I love it. Expand your horizons. I
Yeah.
love how you said it. Okay, and the program's not half bad either, right? We got names on the wall behind you.
Yeah, no, and what's cool is a lot of these names, like John Acevedo comes in all the time. All these Pac-12 champions, you know, they still come in. They help the program, you know. Even guys who didn't wrestle for here but live here, like I don't know if you ever heard of Lou Montana.
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge wrestler from Cal Poly.
Okay.
He works here and he's one of our coaches. Like this year, I worked with him like once a week, you know. And it's like the community around here, whether you leave or you're staying, like they're always helping out. Like our first ever Pac-12 champion, Alan Paradise, he was actually my dad's coach in high school, and he's now working as the superintendent of the local high schools around here, and I'm trying to become a teacher.
Okay.
So I have a little connection. Like there's just so many networking, so many connections. Even when there's not practice, there's so many alumni around here that love to wrestle and love the community. Like I'll just text this guy or this guy and this guy, hey, you want to come wrestle? And like, yeah, let's do it. What day? You know, like just yesterday I was in the room with Coach Brian Cobb, and you know, he didn't have to come. He didn't have to wrestle me, but he wanted to. You know, and it's like, yeah, no, there's a huge support, and a lot of good wrestlers that come out here, and a lot of good wrestlers that like to stay and help. You know, and it's great. It's awesome to have just a big foundation to help you increase your skills.
So as you start to reach your goals, and you're in this room, we just found out there's some blood on the wall over here from one of the greats that came through these. You know, story goes he you know, Stephen Neal cracked his head open,
makes sense. No,
right? So do you
sense.
have those same aspirations? How high do you want to go? What are your goals?
My goal is to be an All-American and national champ, and you know, go from there. If I get good at freestyle, then I'll go to the you know, Olympic trials and all that. But I'm trying to focus on one thing at a time, and the main goal is November. When November comes around next season, it's go time till March. You know, I'm preparing for that. I can't think 4 steps ahead. I have the task at hand, you know. But yeah, no, those stories about Stephen Neal, you know, putting his blood on the wall like that. We even have like a little crane over there where it's a frog getting eaten by the crane, but the frog's grabbing the crane's neck to like basically just, you know, fight to the very end. Like stuff like that is definitely what motivates you. You step onto this mat and it's just kind of like, you know, you understand the history and you respect it, and you almost want to honor it in a way you can, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not. It's fun. It's fun, serious business. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but it's a fun time. But when you lock in, it's ready to go. I'm ready to go. You know.
So you mentioned you want to be a teacher. What year are you?
So I am same year as Chance Rich. Going into my 5th year.
Yep.
I just graduated this past semester, and now I'm going into the teaching coaching program.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. So what's academic classroom size like here? What's a student athlete gonna walk into?
Yeah, so it's not that bad. It depends on the class, but usually the most I've had in a class is like 30 or 40 kids.
Okay.
You know, and that's kind of small for some other universities. I hear about other universities like you have an 80, 90 classroom set, but no, it's 34. It's real personalized. And it's cool is that within your majors, it's usually the same teachers. So you kind of just throughout your years, you get to the same teacher for different classes, and you build a really good relationship. Like by the time I graduated, I had like the same like 4 professors for every class, and like, you know, I'm really good friends with them now. I'm in contact and kind of like a good network, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the academic, it's real personalized. It's real. They don't just throw you out into the water and let you sink or swim. They definitely guide you in the right direction. They try to help you as much as possible to the very end, you know.
Okay. Good deal. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the time. We're going on just about 10 minutes here, believe it or not. So I'm going to give you a chance. Is there anything else that I'm missing? What else do you have for us?
Just stay in tune for the next season. It's going to be exciting. We have a lot of good talent coming up. We have a lot of youngsters. I still consider myself fresh and young still, you know, even though I'm going into my 5th year. So this next season is going to be exciting. It's going to be a good one. And yeah, I just thank you for your time. And I thank for everyone's support of CCB Wrestling. For me personally, I thank my parents, my coaches. Coach Smith is awesome. Chance has a shirt that says like Coach Smith's my homeboy, and I got upset because I was like, dude, what the heck? I want one of those,
Uh-huh.
because I believe that too. You know, they have our backs, and for anybody who's thinking about coming to Cal State, give it a try. It's fun. It's a fun time out here, and you know, you're not gonna be pushed to the side at all. Coaches love every single one of us. They're here for every single one of us, not just on a athletic or academic level, but on a personal level as well. You know, it's a unique experience here, and it's awesome.
Awesome. All right, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you.